Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Naruto Manga 597 prediction. And yes, I'm in my old recording location. I kind of didn't feel like really recording outside today. I just kind of felt like chilling and recording inside, so that's why you see me standing right here. But anyway, this Naruto chapter this week was not that great to me, actually, guys. I know most of the chapters you guys see that I, for the most part enjoy. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy this one to some extent, but to me, it wasn't anything that was just awesome or just, great about this chapter. Only thing that really happened in this week's chapter is that we see that Kakashi basically was studying Tobi's jutsu and trying to figure out as far as the weak point and how he exactly were able to fracture his mask. Because one thing Kakashi noticed is that Naruto in the previous chapter 595, he didn't actually hit Tobi. He didn't actually punch him with the chakra arm or whatever, the chakra hand. Actually, what happened is somehow they were able to cut the mask. And I guess somehow it was cut by Kakashi's kunai. And that's kind of one thing that kind of confused me about the chapter. Again, not saying this is a horrible chapter or anything like that. Just don't feel like there was a lot that really went on in this chapter other than them studying his move. But, one thing that really confused me is to how they were able to cut his mask. Because, okay, if he's turning transparent and all that, and obviously this has something to do with Kamui because we see Kakashi using Kamui again in this week's chapter. And even if there's a moment where Naruto, Guy, and Kakashi do a plan where they're all rushing at Tobi, or not all of them rushing, but at least Guy and Naruto are rushing at Tobi, and Guy comes down and swings his nunchucks, and Naruto rushes at Tobi and does the Rasengan. And in one panel, I'm not sure whether or not if Kakashi used Kamui on Naruto's Rasengan, or if he went ahead and if Naruto just dispersed it. I think he used Kamui on it. And somehow that ended up having an effect on Tobi to where he actually was able to injure him. So, I kind of wonder as to how that's working. Is Kakashi able to, when he sends these different techniques to another dimension, redirect the techniques in a different location? Because that's one thing I was a little confused on. If he sends Naruto's Rasengan to another dimension, can he somehow redirect it at Tobi? And I'm thinking, that's pretty cool if he can, but it just was a little confusing right there. Kind of, threw me off as far as this week's chapter goes. I hope we get explanations on it next week because, that was the part that was kind of, a little difficult to, understand. Nevertheless, it was an okay chapter to me. Next week I'm expecting a little bit more though, as far as, a little bit more to go down in this fight. I kind of want the fight to kind of, take a kind of a more epic feel to it, actually, kind of like the previous week, 595, where we got all this epic action. I want to see a little bit more of that, in the next week's chapter, see maybe Tobi step up his game a little bit and actually give them more of a run for his money, because one thing I've noticed is that Tobi, even though I like Tobi, this one jutsu, because we did figure out that this jutsu, I kind of already figured that both the transparency part of the jutsu and the vacuum sucking move that Tobi used were connected. But if there's one thing I have to think about as far as Tobi goes, I don't understand why he only will use those two moves. Yes, we've seen him use other moves. Even in this week's chapter, we saw him create a barrier to protect the Ghetto Mazo, and we know that he can use the techniques that Pain could use, because we've heard him say it before, and we've even seen him use the power of the outer path. But I don't understand why he's not using those jutsus, or even have a few other time-space ninjutsus or something up his sleeve, because it's not like people have not owned him before. You think about Minato, he owned him using the time-space ninjutsu. Conan owned him using the time-space ninjutsu. You would think Tobi would switch it up just a little bit, since people have figured it out before. He would at least be smart enough to say, okay, I need to have something up my sleeve. I need to have a few different techniques just in case, people start catching a hold of this jutsu, figure it out, so that they can help me finish these people off, instead of using the same thing over and over again. Because, of course, if you're using the same thing over and over again, people are eventually going to figure it out, and then they're going to come up with a counter for it. So, I definitely, hope that Toby throws out a couple other tricks in his sleeve. I hope it's not going to just be Kakashi and Naruto and Guy just working on breaking his mask all this time, and Toby's just, phasing through them and trying to suck him up and phasing through them and trying to suck him up, and then eventually they break his mask. I hope that he actually really starts doing some more shit. Like, we see him maybe, instead of just trying to throw the fan at them, maybe start using some wind style jutsu, or, heck, I mean, maybe use another time space ninjutsu or something, where maybe you'll throw off their perception of time or something crazy. Start, hey, knock out Guy, knock out Kakashi. I mean, I really want to see Toby go down in an epic way, or at least when they break his mask, I want them to say, I want them to do exactly how he said. I want them to have to truly work for that mask. Like, not just, okay, let's just figure out how his jutsu works and then we'll strike that way. So hopefully Kishimoto will up the level of, as far as this fight goes, and maybe we'll see some more epic shit going down. I'm pretty sure we will, because, I feel like Kishimoto, really does a good job as far as, whenever, battles start to reach their climax, I feel like it, things usually get pretty epic. So, as for next week, hopefully, I'm thinking maybe we'll see, of course, more of this fight. Maybe we'll flash over and see somebody else for a second too. Maybe the Kages, or it could be possibly Sasuke. While we're seeing this whole Naruto and Toby fight going down, so maybe see a little bit of somebody else next week. But I definitely think this fight is going to be the main focus for probably the next couple weeks. Then we'll probably flash over to somebody else, like, completely. But anyway, these are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in next week's chapter. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the content on my channel. Don't forget to rate this video if you like this video and you, like what I said. Or even if you didn't like what I said, if you just enjoyed, watching this, please don't forget to like this video. If you didn't like it, then you can put a dislike as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.